Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're joining in. Thanks for being here. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. Glad you guys are here, very much so. It's an interesting day today. Lots of stuff taking place, lots of stuff having interesting things happening in the Bitcoin markets and stuff like that. So, yeah, do me a favor, help me grow my channel. Share it out with your friends and family, put it on your socials, etc. Try to get people to subscribe. If you like the content, obviously, I appreciate you guys who are here. It's been an amazing run so far. You guys have been a true blessing to actually have you all here in the chat. We have a live chat running. If you're joining on other platforms, jump over on YouTube. There's a live chat running. Most people in there. We have a good old fun time. So, yeah, smash the likes. Got lots of people in here watching already right now. Appreciate it very much, as always. Now, I do a Patreon show every day at 4:30. That is designed to allow me to have an opportunity to be unfiltered and talk about things without being concerned about stuff being taken down, things like that. So, let me see real quick. Hang on 2 seconds. I apologize. All right, so let's see here. Sorry, I had to put that in. So, good morning, Tom. Appreciate you being here as always. Good morning, Bitcoin country. Awesome that you guys are here. Much appreciated as always. Bitcoin management, Jim. Thanks for being here, Jim. It's been awesome there. Appreciate it. And default location. I love the mug. Yeah, me too. I like to collect mugs. I know this one's green and having fun with my screen here and everything, but hey, you know what? It works. That one's my favorite one. I have different ones that are very similar to that. I guess I could switch them out so you guys can see them on the shows. That'd be kind of fun. Davy Daddy, good morning. Good morning. Oh, well, good morning, Martin. I have no idea how New York sends me. So I don't even know how to put that one in there. So, anyways, thanks for being here, Martin. Thanks for being here, everyone. You guys are amazing. Much appreciated as always. So, it has been an interesting morning. We've seen the markets. I'm gonna actually pull this up first before I switch over to it. Rather stupid URL, man. All right. So we will pop this up over here, and I will go ahead and share it. So everyone's looking at the market. You got the RSI. This is RSI. You get the divergence. It's popping down below it, which means it's gonna maybe break down to below the floor, which is fine. It thinks it's on sale. It's easy for us to obtain, that kind of stuff. Here's the thing, though, guys. And I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to this. And this is why I titled this one a must-watch show, because they're at it again. Who's they? Well, the federal government is they. But before we get to that, Bitcoin drips. Actually, you know what? I'll switch it around. We'll do this one. U.S. government to kickstart a 3-day auctioning of Bitcoin starting on Tuesday, starting yesterday. So the market drops starting yesterday. All right, so it's only like how many Bitcoin totals? Like 4.5, something like that. No, almost 5 Bitcoins. I know it's not a lot, but when you're seeing prices that are this low on it, people are going to immediately drop that kind of stuff on there. The way that the Bitcoin prices trade, unless they're buying major amounts of Bitcoin, they're not going to buy a lot. It's going to be very, very small amounts. It's going to move. And when you drop larger ones like that, people are going to look at that and go, oh, we're going to slam it down, sell it before these other people jump on there. And I'm pretty sure that there's more. I mean, $300,000 worth isn't really going to move the market that much, but it's the FUD. The point is this the FUD? They're going to auction off, and people don't know the specifics of the numbers, so they start to drop their numbers. Good morning, Trading Man. Good morning. Much appreciated being here. Divvy Daddy. I told you guys last week 50s are to come back before we bounce to 70s. Yeah, exactly. Good morning, Kim. Thanks for being here. And Bitcoin Bandicoot, what's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you guys are awesome jumping in here like this. It's amazing to see you guys. Good morning. Can't wait to see you guys in January. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, anyways, we got the price drop. It's more fun. More fun. More fun. You know what happened last time? Last time something like this happened, this is very reminiscent of 2017. Very reminiscent of 2017. Bitcoin price dips, matches October 2017 Bitcoin explosion. Is still forecast before 2022. So here's the charts. Very similar. Let's see if I can pull this up and bump it up for you guys so you can see it. 2017 drops down. 2021 drops down. And now we could see it run just like it did in 2017. It's very, very possible. It's very possible. At these prices, that could easily run. The thing is, though, is in 2017, everything dropped. Now, it dropped because there were things like the whole, what was it at the time? Actually, it's in here somewhere. Remember Silk Road when they dumped more than 144,000 Bitcoins in the market? And at the time, it was $48 million. I don't remember the exact date on it, but I remember there being that, and I remember there being the whole Mt. Gox stuff where they started dropping that on the market. So they don't have 144,000 Bitcoin now. They only have 5, and they're causing the market fluctuation. I think that's what's causing the market fluctuations, that it's doing that kind of stuff. I think you're going to see that pullback, and it's going to be a nice, healthy pullback, and it's going to run. Now, we may see the price drop significantly after this. Just be ready for it. Make sure you have your exit strategies set up. Get connected in with Viva Capital. Get connected in with Caleb and Brown. Get connected with somebody somewhere who actually can execute that. Viva Capital has some really good connections and really, really do a good job at executing these things. So sorry. I have to have my coffee. It's just one of those days. Up late at night working, building on different platforms, doing different things, helping people learn in the crypto space. I do the consultations and stuff, and it's a lot of fun to actually have fun with that. So yeah, I don't know what's going to pull back. The difference is now is that, what was it? There was 2 things that happened in 2017. There was a major dump of cryptocurrency on the market that caused the overall drop. And then there was some regulatory body or something like that said they were going to go after Bitcoin or something like that. I don't remember what specifically it was, but it was enough to tank the market at the time. It's a lot more mature now. There's a lot more eyes on it, if you will. There are a lot more interested parties, if you will. I think that we are going to potentially see a pullback, but I don't know how hard of a pullback is going to be. I don't know how far it's going to go. So just be mindful of that as we run into this towards the end of the year. Yeah, we're going to see a major run. I just don't know how far it's going to go. I still think, like I said yesterday, when we get to $100,000, like our friend Plan B talks about, when you see that stock to flow, the information coming from the blockchain, he's not even accounting for the FOMO. We will see Bitcoin be above $100,000 by the end of the year. That's my opinion, not financial advice. As I say every day, I try to remember to say on every show. It's in my description of the show. Legally can't give you financial advice. Please do your own research, and I hope that this is part of your research, or entertaining you one way or the other. Let's have fun. That's the whole point, right? That Viva Capital is custodians. They are brokers as well. They work with. They have connections to be able to do the if you want your coins out, you can get them out kind of thing. So if you're holding them there and you want them back, or you want it back in a specific format, you can. They work with you to pull that out and appropriately do so. They're really good about that. So thanks for bringing that up, Martin. Much appreciated, sir. So interesting here. Citigroup CEO, digital currencies deliver very tangible benefits. Yes, they do. Basically, the benefits that they're seeing in the digital asset space is instant processing, fractionalization, and programmability and transparency. That's what blockchain brings you. It's fantastic. So, you've got Jamie Dimon who's calling Bitcoin worthless, and you've got the CEO of Citigroup saying, "Yeah, this actually makes sense. There are real tangible things that we could use about this." Fantastic. Good morning, open-minded Bitcoin. Thanks for being here, man. You guys are always welcome here. I love it that you guys jump in here and have conversations like this. It's fantastic. So, realistically, folks, what was it? Oh yeah, here it is. Here, Berkshire Hathaway CEO Warren Buffett says in 2018 described Bitcoin as rat poisoning, and now he's talking about adding it to his portfolio. They've tried for so long to kill this. They're at it again. That's the point. They're at it again. They're trying to slam the price down. You got people now, CEO of Citigroup, looking, oh, this, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should look at this. Or you got JP Morgan, who's now offering crypto holdings and or custodianship, I guess, would be the best way to put it, for their high net worth investors. They're not opening it up to everyone, but they're high net worth investors. You got, what was the other? Gary Gensler, the previous MIT Bitcoin professor. The clueless Gensler. I really don't know if his students even learn cryptocurrency. Or blockchain. Let's go with blockchain. You're supposed to be teaching blockchain. Calling this the Wild West. Yeah, it's the Wild West. It's a new technology. It's disruptive. Wake up and smell the roses and shut up. The dude needs to shut up. He needs to realize the technology that he so-called knows. I don't really think he knows anything about it. He has no clue what he's talking about. All right? No clue. Despite signs of adoptions, U.S. bank cryptocurrency remains in the crosshairs of top bankers and regulators. Why? You got Verifone, who now allows the processing for any merchants who want to do it with their processing slots, the card machines. You've got Square, who has that set up for you. All you got to do is enable it. You've got MasterCard now going and running with this. You've got Citigroup interested in this. You've got major investment groups coming in. You got the ETF, which I freaking hate the fact that they did that, but it is what it is at the end of the day. You got to understand, adoption is growing massively in this space. And this is going to be a fantastic time for us. We just need to be very careful as we get to the end here on making sure that if you want to take profits, that you know how to do what you're going to do and that your plan is set up and good to go. At the end of the day, you could end up doubling down. This isn't where this ends. This next run is not where this ends. We're going to see the growth in this space. Oh my goodness, the growth in this space is going to be pretty phenomenal. Like I said, to $100,000, in my opinion, is where we see that jump point, where we see that it's going to end up being a consolidation point where we have a major run. Just my opinion. Do your own research. U.S. regulators are exploring how banks could hold crypto assets, FDIC chairman. Now, I evidently read too much in here, and I'm not paying for this because I don't want to give Reuters any of my money, but effectively, I read it in another article. For whatever reason, this one refreshed, and I can't see the whole article now. Yay. Anyways, I'll try to do it from memory. The regulators, U.S. regulators, are effectively saying, okay, banks are going to die if we don't figure out how to get them the capability and permission, I guess you could say. They already have the permission. There was a law that was signed last year, year before last, that allows banks to be custodians of cryptocurrencies. And most people didn't really realize that it's there. It was in preparation for, I guess, now or the next coming months or so. FDIC is chairman. Guys, the FDIC, it's supposed to be the insurance for the banks, $250,000 kind of thing. they're bankrupt. Basically, they're trying to figure out how they can support the crypto environment, and they're not going to be able to. And they're all freaking out. SEC's freaking out, losing their mind. FDIC losing their mind. Yes, Martin, that's a good point. So the FDIC talk about bringing custodians, but they're really only talking about CBDCs. You're correct. Not necessarily around other coins. CBDCs, what is it? Cliff High talked about it. They will launch 3 separate times and attempt 3 separate times to revitalize the US dollar in some form or fashion, and they will fail, and then they will jump on board with Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum and everything else that we all love, and how they're doing different things. It's actually kind of fun too. Default location. Are they considering extending FDIC insurance to crypto under custodianship? I have no idea. I do know that Viva Capital offers insurance. You have to pay for it though. But it's a very, very, very small percentage of the assets you have in there. So if anything ever did happen, you would be made whole. So something to consider with Viva. They're really, really kind of an interesting group, and they do really, really good job what they're doing. Anyways, yes, default location. It sounds like discretion. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. It's the point of this particular show today. They're at it again. They're distracting. They're partly, I think, in some way, form, or fashion, behind why crypto's coming down this morning. This type of stuff starts FUD. Bump that up. Sorry. This type of stuff starts FUD, and it causes people to lose their minds and forget why they're in here and what they're doing. But anyways, I thought this was an interesting thing here to bring up. INSAV, I have no idea how to say that. Effectively, they are launching a decentralized cryptocurrency exchange, a DEX, further expanding persistence in $2 trillion global cryptocurrency market. Now, who here knows what a DEX is? I hope you all do, at least in the chat. I hope you guys all do. Those of you who are watching and not part of the chat, a DEX is a decentralized exchange. Basically, it's an exchange on a blockchain. Sorry, I have eczema, and it is really bugging me today. Think about it just for a second here. How you get a decentralized exchange that's not exactly trackable. Basically, you're swapping between individuals. There's no third party doing the exchange. The decentralized exchange is an exchange on a blockchain, which means it's everywhere and yet nowhere. And it has that decentralized and distributed capability and power that gives you, the people, the capability to trade amongst yourselves without being tracked, without being concerned about KYC, without being concerned about anyone. Basically, if you want to go buy a Bitcoin, you buy a whole Bitcoin, good on you. Basically, what it'll do is the system will find somebody who's willing to sell a whole Bitcoin at the price you're willing to buy it for. Match happens, and you're done. Crazy. It is perfect. This is what technology does. You have all these centralized exchanges. You got Coinbase, you got Kraken, you got all these other ones in the US, Binance US. You got all these different exchanges, KuCoin, around the world. They're centralized. They're companies, basically. They're making money off of you doing your sales and your trades and stuff like that. You got to understand, having a decentralized exchange gives you back the power and control. It's everywhere and yet nowhere. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be turned off. It cannot be shut down. It gives you the capability and freedom to trade and do what you want with your money, with who you want to do it with, without having the concern about anyone or anything messing with what you're doing. Now, people are like, well, that's going to be made illegal. Do DEXs have KYC? Typically, no. At least the ones I've seen don't. Not the ones that I've gone through. I don't think so. They don't, because you buy and sell directly with it. There is nothing. I don't even think there's any kind of limits or anything like that. So Good morning, Sandstorm. Glad you are here. Good morning. Good morning. And yes, you see here. Someone asked what are the top dexes. Sandstorm, thanks for pumping some of these out here. Uniswap, QuitSwap, 1inch, Pancake Swap. Those are some of the ones that are out there. And now there are different ones coming up every day. So just something to kind of be aware of. We have the capability now to really be free in what we do and how we exchange and trade with each other. These aren't exchanges like you would typically see. It is I'm going to trade XYZ at current price, or I'm going to buy XYZ at current price. I'm going to sell XYZ at current price. You could go and say I'm going to sell my coins at a price, and I think you can, and some of them you can set the price you want it to be at, which is phenomenal. Default location. The only limits I think are the amounts of in the liquidity pools, right? So as the liquidity goes down, you're going to end up seeing the price go up because it's just a supply and demand. It's basically economics at that point. Rick, thank you, sir, for reminding. Smash the likes. Smash the likes. You guys got that. Looks. I know there's probably more here. The system doesn't really tell me. I see 12 people. Smash the likes. Appreciate it. Share it out. Subscribe, etc. All that fun stuff. Let's see here. Default location. Rug pulls are big risk for small coins. Not really sure what you mean there. Sorry about that. Anyways, fun stuff. So it's going to be interesting. This is just one example, right, of how humanity is getting around the regulators. This is something I have said many, many times. I say it more on my Patreon show than I do here. The regulators cannot control blockchain because blockchain is a self-regulating system. You would think that Gensler would understand that, being a former MIT professor of blockchain. Now, he wants to regulate different coins because they have security likeness or security aspects. So because it has some security aspects, he wants to regulate it. No, that's nuh-uh. It doesn't work that way. This isn't what you do. You try to regulate, guess what? Change it just a little bit, stand up a decentralized exchange, whatever. You cannot stop it. It's technology. This isn't a system that's created by the government for the government or by the banks for the banks. This is a system created for the people, with the people being part of the entire ecosystem that is decentralized and distributed. You can't stop something that you say, I'm going to regulate XYZ. Okay, well, XYZ now has changed itself to ABC. See you later. That's really what you can do. This is technology. It can be changed. It can be altered. It is always going to do so. No matter what they say, the environment will change to fit what's best for the people. It's just going to be an incredible time. You got to realize this. You got to be careful. Do your research. Pay attention. And understand that we, the people, have the control. Anyhow, what happens when they continue to try to push this? They'll eventually join. They'll join or they will die. It's actually that simple, and it's a beautiful thing to think about. It really is. We have an opportunity now as humanity to do things, to completely get rid of the banking system entirely, and things like distributed, decentralized exchanges is how you do it. Excuse me. Now, technologically speaking, if you really wanted to make sure that every trade was completely anonymous, like I mean legitimately anonymous, there are protocols and things you can do to the transactions that wipe all digital fingerprints completely between two people. There's things you can do for that. And I know that there are people working on those things. And it's going to be really cool when that kind of stuff gets implemented. I know Litecoin's building an anonymous feature where you can do your transactions anonymously, which is actually kind of cool to think about. I've been saying it. Bitcoin's going to be the store of value, and Litecoin or something similar will be the means of exchange. I really think Litecoin makes sense being the means of exchange. It's a fork of Bitcoin. Use it, spend it, work it. Mimblewimble. Yes, Rick, that is correct. It's called Mimblewimble. When they enable it, I don't know how far they are from it, but when it's set up, you can flip it on, spend your money, and no one knows you did it. Having the anonymous features in cryptocurrency is it's such a nice, beautiful thing. It allows you to digitally spend your money without having without being on the grid, so to speak, without popping online, without anyone knowing you did something. And that's your privacy. Right now, you have no privacy in your money. Your bank sees everything. IRS is trying to get into the bank and see more of everything you're doing, or make the banks report everything that you're doing. Cryptocurrency, people if they pull that off, if they actually did, they're not going to. They already said they're not going to. If they did that, if they were trying to do that, people will move out of the banking system just so they continue to be private. It's kind of interesting. Sorry. I'll follow up with the chats here. And since it's an optional feature, exchanges will be okay with it, unlike Monero. So Monero is straight up, you're cloaking everything you're doing. But there are ways to appropriately there are ways they could reverse engineer it with Monero. Now, something like, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Pirate Coin, it is legitimate. The protocols and things it does, it legitimately clears it. Using the Ghost protocol, look up the Ghost protocol. And there's one other protocol, I forget what it's called, and it may be the Ghost one. Basically, the transaction gets sent through the Tor network. If you don't know what the Tor network is, basically, it bounces around everywhere, and it's basically taking the idea of blockchain and making it part of the transaction, and effectively making everything about the transaction completely anonymous. It's actually incredible to think about and to see, but we'll see what happens there. So anyway, sorry for the long run there on that one. So like a VPN? No, not like a VPN, Martin. Yeah. Let's see here. Rana. PAPAJO faces humanity, race under attack. On clause with total warfare. Yep, is being unleashed by the globalists. All assets deployed. It's true. They're trying to pull it down. They're trying to stop us. They're trying to make sure that everyone's like, hey, don't look over here. Look over here. We don't want you to see this. We don't want you to see this amazing thing that can actually get you out of our mess that we can't control, that we can't stop. Pay attention over here. Pay attention over here. That's exactly what they're doing. So anyways, I have a meeting in quite literally about a minute and a half, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. I have a show this afternoon at 4:30, my Patreon show. It's scrolling around the bottom of the screen. There's a link in the description as well, so you don't have to type that out. Just click the link. Pop in there and join it. It's $5 a month, and I hate that I have to actually freaking put a paywall there, but it's the only way that it can actually go in and have an unlisted video and actually provide it to you folks. Typically in there, we do talk about things that are unfiltered, things that I would typically not say out here. And I'll cover subjects from time to time that are much more in depth and historical or technical, things like that. Scripturally speaking, even as well. I've done some things around there too. So, yeah. It is, yeah, you're a community leader, you're correct. Unfortunately, we do have to do that sometimes. But in order for us to be able to say the things we need to say, speak the things we need to speak, things to get the information out to you folks, pop in there and join it. It's only $5. I've got it as low as I can possibly make it. And anyways, you guys have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you at 4:30.